Michigan registered Eloise historical site. Hashtag Michigan did you know, thoughtful face. In 1839 Wayne County purchased the Black Horse Tavern, a stagecoach stop. A stagecoach located here on the Chicago Road, for use as a poorhouse. Early on, the poorhouse accepted not only the county's indigent, but the infirm and mentally ill as well. During the late 19th century, the number of residents grew, new buildings were constructed to meet the demand. In 1894, a post office opened on the grounds with the name Eloise, a name that became synonymous with what developed into a 902-acre, 75-building complex. By the late 1920s, Eloise's population had peaked at 10,000 patients and 2,000 staff. A city in itself, Eloise had its own farm, cannery, bakery, cemetery, employee housing, police department and fire departments, trolley and train stations, and 16 kitchens that served 30,000 meals daily. Related to. Put some respect on my ancestors' names. Hashtag Michigan Indians Matter. Hashtag Ancient America Indians. Hashtag more than a grave marker number. Hashtag land grab. Hashtag land back. Hashtag paper genocide. Hashtag Michigan Moccasins Matter. Hashtag IHV name. Hashtag Michigan Mounds Matter. Hashtag Indian cemeteries. Hashtag Michigan tribes. Ghosts of Eloise. Thousands buried near former Westland Mental Hospital remain unidentified. More than 7,100 people buried near former mental hospital in nameless graves. https://share.newsbreak.com/57watt8dv. Jason Colthorpe, anchor/reporter. Published, October 19, 2023 at 6:02 p.m. Updated, October 20, 2023 at 8:58 a.m. Tags: Eloise, Westland, Wayne County. Related articles. From 2018, here's why Wayne County sold the old Eloise complex for just $1. Detroit ghost hunters explore shipwreck basement of old Eloise Hospital power plant. Ghost throws record at old Eloise Psychiatric Hospital in Westland. Related stories. Eloise Psychiatric Hospital was a large complex located in Westland, Michigan. It was named after Eloise Dickerson Davik, the daughter of Detroit's postmaster. It operated from 1839 to early 1982. Starting out as a poorhouse and farm, it eventually developed into an asylum, sanatorium and hospital. In 1832 it was called the Wayne County Poorhouse. In 1872 it was the Wayne County Almshouse. In 1886 it was referred to simply as the Wayne County House. In 1913 there were 3 divisions: the Eloise Hospital, Mental Hospital, the Eloise Infirmary, Poorhouse, and the Eloise Sanatorium, TB Hospital, which were collectively called Eloise. In 1945 it was named Wayne County General Hospital and Infirmary at Eloise, Michigan. In 1974 it had 2 divisions, the Wayne County General Hospital and the Wayne County Psychiatric Hospital. In 1979 it was officially called Wayne County General Hospital, with the Psychiatric Division closing in 1982. In its prime, Eloise consisted of 78 buildings on 902 acres with 10,000 patients along with 2,000 staff. It was the largest psychiatric facility in the United States. Only 5 of the 78 buildings and the Eloise Cemetery remain. The firehouse, power plant, commissary and D building still stand as of July 2023. The bakery was burned down due to arson in 2020. The Wayne County Poorhouse was founded in 1832. It was located at Gratiot and Mount Elliott Avenues in Hamtramck Township, 2 miles from the Detroit city limits. By 1834 the poorhouse was in bad condition and 280 acres, 110 hectares, in Nankin Township were purchased. The Black Horse Tavern, which served as a stagecoach stop between Detroit and Chicago, was located on the property. In those days it was a 2-day stagecoach ride from Hamtramck Township to Nankin Township. The register shows that on April 11, 1839, 35 people were transferred from the poorhouse in Hamtramck Township to the new one in Nankin Township. 111 apparently refused to go to the awful wilderness. Many were children, and homes among the residents of the city may have been found for them. The log cabin, which was formerly the Black Horse Tavern, became the keeper's quarters, and in 1839 an A-frame building was put up to house the inmates, more appropriately termed, by today's standards, patients. An A-frame cookhouse was erected in the back of the log building and was used for cooking by the inmates, the staff and the keeper's family. The complex was self-sufficient. It had its own police and fire departments along with a railroad and trolley system. It included a bakery, amusement hall, laundry facility, post office and a power plant. It had its own farm, which included a dairy herd, dairy barns, piggery, root cellar, tobacco curing building and greenhouses. Patients came from Detroit and other communities to have x-rays done. It also housed the first kidney dialysis unit in the state of Michigan and pioneered the use of music therapy. Staff also used hydrotherapy, shock therapy and insulin therapy to treat patients. As the years went on, the institution grew larger and larger, a reflection in the increases in the population of the Detroit area. From only 35 residents in 1839, the complex grew to about 10,000 residents at its peak during the Great Depression. Slowly over the next 40 years, Eloise's population decreased. The farm operations ceased in 1958, and some of the large psychiatric buildings were vacated in 1973. The psychiatric division started closing in 1977, and the last patients were transferred out in 1982 when the state of Michigan took over. The General Hospital closed in 1986. Inventor Elijah McCoy may be its most famous former resident. He spent a year prior to his death as a patient in the Eloise Infirmary. There were other well-known people who died at Eloise, including several baseball players. Among them are July Custis, Larry Lejeune, Charlie Krause, and Marty Kavanaugh. Musician Horace Flinders was also a patient and received music therapy. #This Day in Michigan History.